On the pure white ice, they are almost invisible, an enduring symbol of the wild Arctic. But in recent years, the polar bear has come to embody something else. A creature caught in a changing world that's disappearing under its feet. There are less than 25,000 polar bears left in the wild, and few ever encounter them. But each year, dozens descend on this isolated Alaskan village. We're going on a journey to the edge of the earth to understand what's pushing these elusive beasts closer to people.
We are going to fly right over the Arctic Circle up to Barter Island.
Welcome aboard, guys.
Hi. So this is day 3 of travel, and we have our fingers crossed because we're hopeful that we're actually going to get up there today to see the polar bears. Here we go.
We'll check our latitude on the GPS. And yes, we have just crossed the Arctic Circle. So the Brooks Range is up ahead. They're extremely rugged, as you'll see, and it's an extremely remote area.
So remote, we lose contact with air traffic control.
We have no radio communication with the outside world right now. Definitely a first for me, but this is spectacular. How dicey can it get up here?
You have to be confident, especially going up to somewhere as remote as we are.
But even from this vantage point, our co-pilot says evidence of a warming planet is visible.
The glaciers are receding. The sea ice has shrunk substantially already. Permafrost is starting to melt, but the fact that things are getting warmer is undisputed in this climate.
Approaching Barter Island, we get a preview. On the stony islands below, a white bear.
Wow, that's so cool.
15 southwest of Barter Island, 1,000 feet inbound, landing runway.
Wow, we finally made it.
The village of Kaktovik, Alaska, on Barter Island, population 239. A stark and striking landscape, but not quite the snow-blanketed mountains you might expect from the Arctic. A change that has reached into all corners of life here. It's not long before we see what we came for.
We left the shore 3 minutes ago, and already there are 4 polar bears right there swimming in the water. That's incredible. Wow. I mean, what are we, 50 feet from them? We're pretty darn close. 1, 2, 3, 4 polar bears. A mother with her triplets.
These bears, a drab shade of brown, wearing the signs of spending so much time on muddied land.
Wow. So you often see them playing with each other?
Every day.
Every day.
Our captain, Bruce Inglangasak, says these bears are here because they are waiting for the sea ice to return. The frozen surface of the Arctic Ocean, where they spend most of the year feeding on seals.
They're just conserving energy. They know they got a long wait for freeze up.
Until the freeze up, they scavenge on the remains of the bowhead whales the people of Kaktovik must hunt to survive here.
How long do the polar bears linger or stay around these parts?
Well, every year, the fall time, they'll hang out here till it's mid-November, and then when the ice starts forming out in the ocean, when that starts happening, the seals go on the ice, and it's where the polar bears get their seals, is on the ice. And if that ice is not there, they don't get nothing.
The bears used to spend just 3 weeks on land, but today they are stranded for nearly 3 months because the ice is staying melted longer. Scientists say it's due to global warming. In this part of the world, the sea ice is declining at a rate of 9% a decade, a dramatic number for polar bear conservationists. Scientist Dr. Todd Atwood and his team tranquilized the bears from helicopters, collecting samples.
The gate looked like a male.
Studying how climate change is affecting these bears.
Helps with warmth and friction, I think. Traction. Those beautiful claws.
We spend about 45 to 50 minutes with each bear that we capture, We collect a variety of samples, a bunch of body measurements so we can measure physical stature and how physical stature might be changing through time.
Probably right on the cusp of being an adult. And we gave him 7 cc's, which is the standard dosage for a bear of this size.
I think the most surprising thing for me personally has been the complexity of their behaviors. You know, we've seen them adapt to some pretty dramatic changes in the Arctic sea ice ecosystem. We're seeing them use terrestrial habitats to an extent that we didn't expect them to be able to use. We're seeing them switch to certain food items that we didn't expect them to switch to. We can characterize stress using hair samples, and we can relate that to how the environment has changed around polar bears to determine if those environmental changes are causing an increase in stress levels.
Currently, polar bears are categorized as a vulnerable species, meaning they have a high risk of endangerment in the wild.
Looking for polar bears out here on the sea ice is about learning to read the signs of their passing. And just here behind me are some very, very fresh bear tracks.
And in most places of the world, polar bears are incredibly difficult to find.
But it's a rare sighting. Wow.
The grueling hunt demonstrated in the documentary Ghosts of the Arctic. But in Kaktovik, the direct access and sheer number of bears has sparked a tourist boom. Visitors like Ed Bennett fly in, hoping to snap the perfect picture.
What makes it worth it to me is simply seeing a beautiful white bear walking along a beach who's basically here only because the ice hasn't frozen yet. Ice that would have frozen years ago.
Here we are, unbelievably close to these bears.
See the cubs running? They're so cute. Oh my God, he's looking right at us.
But thankfully, the water offers us some security.
So we're safe here on the water.
We're safe right here on the water.
I am glad I am safely on this boat.
On land, it can be a different story, as Bruce knows all too well.
And then this happened. I was standing beside him for about a good 3 seconds.
And you didn't even know he was there?
I didn't know he
was
was
so
there.
quiet when he approached. Is that the most frightened you've ever been in your life?
Yeah.
I would think so.
The opportunity to get a closer look on land is too tempting. So as twilight falls, we set out by SUV.
I mean, that's just spectacular right there. It's so pretty.
To the bone pile where the hungry polar bears feast.
We are here right by what the locals call the bone pit, and that's where whale carcasses have been left for years and years and years. And the polar bears come at dusk and feed on what's left of the bones.
Our guide tells us we can get a few shots, but we have to be ready to make a quick escape.
We were told that we could get out of the vehicle as long as we were near the vehicle, and if we heard him say get in, we had to run. No, hey, I need one more shot, or I've almost got what I need. He said you'll have to run straight back to the car. So you just don't know where they're coming from, and they move very quickly, so we would have to move very quickly as well.
Though these bears are cute, they can be deadly. In 2013, a BBC wildlife photographer captured the sheer power of a polar bear attack from inside a glass case.
One of the most powerful animals on the planet, one of the most intimidating animals on the planet, and one of the few animals that actually see us as food.
The male bears can weigh up to 1,500 pounds and stand at over 9 feet tall, 5 times larger than a black bear. They can charge at 25 miles per hour, and their bite force is an astounding 1,200 pounds per square inch. Though all they need to kill is one swipe of their massive paw.
Oh, I see some over there too.
Standing so close to these powerful creatures is awe-inspiring. But our guide, Robert Thompson, says it is a bittersweet opportunity.
When I first came here, the pack ice was in sight of the shore all summer. Now there's 150 miles of water, and more in some places.
And that has a huge impact on the polar bears.
That's why we have a lot of polar bears here. Their habitat's going away. They don't all make it. This Beaufort population is now down from 1,200 to 900 in the last 10 years. So we've been hunting whales for probably 10,000 years. So they're not coming here because of the bones and remains of the whales that we catch. They're coming because their habitat's gone away. The world should be interested in this.
But while we're at the bone pile,
oh, they're right over there.
We become nervous these bears are interested in us.
There is Mama polar bear with her 2 cubs, not that far from us, walking through through the water to a piece of land that's connected to us. That's pretty close. Wow.
Stay with us.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.